For this Tuesday, it's the 29th of September. Steve Barry in for Jackie here this morning, but on Tuesdays at this time, it is that opportunity to visit with Ron, the car guy. And of course, Ron brought props with him today. Whenever you do that, we love it.
Awesome. Also, I didn't know I was going to have to compete with Steve, though, so I'm not sure how this segment's going to turn out today. Jackie, it's a little easier, but yeah, today we're going to talk about this little guy here. As you can see, my well-manicured hand.
You look nice.
Yeah, thank you. The key fob, and this is something we all take for granted.
Right.
And it's a little more important this time of year. It's getting darker, you know, at night and in the morning, and people just want to hit it and make sure the car opens. Also, more and more cars have remote start on it, so you want the key fob to start your car up, especially as we go into cold weather.
Right.
And you know,
Let's see what kind of this is. Is this a Ford one?
That's a Ford.
Yeah, I was going to say, I recognize the buttons from the truck. Okay.
Yep, exactly. But anyway, we take them for granted. I mean, that they just work. And I was talking to somebody earlier this morning, and she said, well, aren't they just supposed to work? I mean, that's the expectation, is they're just going to work forever. Right. And they don't. They have problems, too, that need to be addressed and stuff. And so I want to talk a little bit about some of the more common problems that we see on them. And of course, the first one, I've got the one that we showed earlier. I opened it up. Is inside there's a battery, and that battery's usually good for, depending on how much you use it, usually good for a couple of years.
And it's a simple button battery.
It is. It is. We've got a picture of one right here. This is kind of weird looking at my fingers on the monitor. Wow, check that out. Anyway, yeah, it's a button battery, and these are becoming common. I mean, they're even in my garage door opener now. Remember they used to have the 9-volt?
Right.
Now they're using these little guys in there.
And you can get those a lot of places. So you can get them at the grocery store now.
Absolutely. I think convenience stores sell some of the more popular ones. They're probably like $38 there. But
yeah, right. But like the 25s and 35s.
Exactly. But the battery just fits inside there. And then, of course, on the other side of it, we've got the electronics and stuff, and it just pops open, pries open. And you know, another good place to get those is there's places like your Batteries Plus and your Interstate battery. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they'll put them in for you too. So you know, if you've got your key fob and you know, you have to be close to the car, almost right up on the car for it to work. Certainly the battery is the first place to start.
Yeah, if you find yourself in the house, you're going like right, and then you're walking outside, it's pouring rain like this morning, and you're still doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And you go up, and then you know you need it.
Yeah. You shouldn't have to hold this up against the door of the car to start it. That's not normal. There's a problem if you're having to do that. But anyway, that's just kind of a quick, easy you know, maintenance item that needs to be done.
All right, so you replace the battery in your key fob, and you still find that it's not functioning. You don't think it's functioning right.
Correct.
Is there any other way to test them?
Well, you have to have a key fob tester. And
I don't have one of those.
You don't have one of those? No. It's not in the junk drawer in the kitchen, that top thin one up there?
With the stud finder?
Yeah, this is not a stud finder, but anyone ever have luck with those stud finders? Not to get sidetracked, but they're hit or miss. Yeah, there's times I've been trying to hang something up and there's nothing but drywall there.
Want to see a stud finder? It's right there.
Oh, good.
Boy, this show just went down. Sorry, Ted, I brought that up. Anyway, no, this is a key fob tester.
He doesn't watch us.
And most shops that work on cars are going to have something like this. Maybe the battery place does, but it's pretty simple. We just simply turn it on, and you push the button on the key fob, and it'll register whether or not it's getting a signal.
You'll see whether or not a signal is working. And auto repair, or not auto repair, but car parts place, auto parts stores have these too.
They should have them, yeah, absolutely. And so you just, it's an easy way to test the fob. It's looking for a signal. And of course, if the key fob works okay, then there's a problem, you know, with the car and the receiver or something, you know, maybe a broken wire or a bad receiver, and you got to go a little bit more in depth to diagnose and test that. But just not really that difficult to test. Something to keep in mind too, if you do find that you've lost a key fob, or your key fob's quit working, it's not the battery, it's something else, and it's not providing a signal. These things can run in price from, you know, $30 up to, I've seen some that were like $370. And a good source for replacement key fobs is there's a website out there. It's keylessride.com. and it's the same company that we get our batteries from here. But
Called Keyless Ride.
Yep, keylessride.com is their website. And what's cool, what I like about it is you can buy new key fobs from them, but they've also got reconditioned key fobs.
Even better.
So if you've got a fob that's a couple $100 or something, you might take a look on there. I mean, if you can pick one up for $50 or $75, they come with a sheet for programming instructions, and oftentimes there's no new or special tools required to do that. Once in a while there is. On some cars, you've got to have a scan tool where you can go into the computer and stuff, and if that's the case, we could certainly help you out with that. But one of the keys is if...
Get it?
I was waiting. You're on it today. That's awesome.
Sharp.
And he's had no sleep.
Exactly, and he didn't even preview this show. But anyway, if your car sometimes if your car has two fobs, in order to program a new one without going through a painstaking process, you've got to have an existing one that works. So if one broke or you lost it, don't wait until the other one doesn't work and then go into it, because it's a bigger process to program them. And also, if you do get a new one, you're programming it, oftentimes you have to have the other one, or it's like a garage door opener, it won't work anymore. You got to program them at the same time.
That makes sense.
The other thing that we see is, and this is a little more common, is the little tab that holds the ring and hooks it to the keys. That tab, look at Craig, he's going to zoom in here. I can tell. I saw it in his eyes. That tab will break off.
Right.
And so then we've seen these. Ooh, check that out.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to have a boatload of keys.
Exactly.
You're not a janitor.
Exactly.
Unless you are.
Well, and then still you shouldn't have them hanging in the ignition of your car, because all that weight damages the ignition. But this little tab breaks off, and I have seen people have brought their keys in. I have seen some of the most creative ways that they've affixed these. I mean, they'll have a zip tie going around the body of this, holding it to a key. They've tried to rebuild this with epoxy and drill a new hole. And I mean, literally have spent hours trying to figure out how to attach this to their car. And it's as simple as just get a new shell.
Yeah, as long as the guts
work.
just need a place to hang out.
Exactly. And this wasn't always the case. I'm messing you up there, Craig. This wasn't always the case that you could buy just the shell, but you can, and those are readily available.
And
now.
how much does that set you back?
This is going to run you about $10.
Oh, piece of cake.
And
as much as you would pay for epoxy to try to rebuild it and drill it
and your
out.
time,
Yeah.
unless your time's worth nothing. But I picked this up from Napa to demonstrate. But it's just the two plastic halves. And again, we're back to simplicity. You pop the battery out, and
Pop the guts out.
Yeah, it's just a little circuit board.
That's
just
it right
pops
there.
out. Yeah, this is it. Goes into the new shell, and now you can hook your keys back on it. So,
Oh, that's cool.
kind of an easy fix. And again, none of this is rocket science. I mean, you don't have to bring your car to Westside Auto Pros to get it fixed unless you want to, or need to have it tested or something. But the battery, the shell. This is all do-it-yourself type stuff.
But if you are uncomfortable putting a battery in, for example, or changing the shell, you could show them how to do it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, just pop in. We've got the batteries there. We don't
Okay.
charge anything to put them in or test it real quick for you.
All right,
I mean,
good.
it's pretty simple.
All right. People want to stop by. How do they stop by? Where do they stop
They can come find us at westsideautopros.com. We've got the address and phone number up there, or you can get a hold of me at askronthecarguy.com. If you've got any other car questions, I answer them all.
There you go. See that? You learned something here today, Steve. Isn't that cool?
Absolutely.
There you have it. Ron the Car Guy. Good job as always.
All right.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you,
Thanks,
pal.
Lou.